Steve, in your view, would you say that the Trump administration's, I suppose, desire to connect with the South Korean leadership now is mostly because of North Korea, because Mr. Trump actually wants to resolve North Korea?
I think that's first and foremost. There are also trade disputes, and the president, since Mr. Moon has arrived, has been talking a lot about that and been very blunt and saying, we're negotiating a trade treaty right now. And he's made it very clear that he's very dissatisfied with Chorus. That is something that the president needs to demonstrate for his domestic constituency, that the result of this visit is going to be more jobs for Americans. That's true of any major foreign leader that's coming to the United States in the Trump administration. But what is unique about the relationship with Seoul, of course, is this issue with North Korea. And President Trump, alongside President Moon, his words have been very blunt. And I'm sure that the North Koreans are going to see it as threatening. It wasn't Mr. Trump who, in the Rose Garden, was even mentioning the possibility of real dialogue. Mr. Moon, of course, is leaving the door open. But I think the real question, and I'd be very interested to hear what Scott has to say about this, but all indications that I'm getting from people who have been working in North Korea and follow North Korea is they have a belief that the people around Kim Jong-un right now are actually quite hardline. And are really not open to negotiations, and are certainly not going to agree to the first principle from the United States and the EU and the UN and South Korea for negotiations, which is putting a freeze on their ballistic missile and nuclear weapons development program. So perhaps what we may be seeing is sort of a good cop, bad cop scenario where the U.S., the White House says to President Moon, sure, if you think there's a channel there for negotiations, try to go for it. But we're gonna maintain this hardline position. We're gonna have the sticks, and if you want to offer some carrots, see how far you get with that. But a lot of people in this town are very skeptical based on what's happened in the past and the mood, the signals that they're seeing from Pyongyang, that there really is any possibility of a negotiation, let alone six-way talks. But what are you hearing?
Well, it's absolutely the case that we're in a situation where within North Korea you have a stated public commitment to nuclear development. We've had rhetoric about the idea that North Korea could use nuclear weapons against the United States. Frankly, North Korea so far is structurally not configured to engage with anybody in the world, the U.S. and South Korea included. And so really the first thing that I think is going to happen if we're going to expect any kind of dialogue is for North Korea to create a structure that enables dialogue to occur. President Moon has already sent, by my count, 3 trial balloons. First, the approval of a South Korean NGO to provide malaria supplies. Second, approval for some kind of discussion about a commemoration of the June 2000 denuclearization, inter-Korean agreement.
Yes.
And then, thirdly, the idea of a joint Olympic team, and every single one of them have been popped by the North Koreans. We don't know who Kim Yang-gon, the former negotiator with South Korea, is in North Korea today. And North Korea's Kim Jong-un is going to have to find that person and put him in place in order for dialogue to be resumed.